Usual. You probably know me as usual from my Source channel. I'm gonna be doing a what if Deku was a villain, but he's gonna stay quirkless. Basically, most of his growing up until he's 15. Oh, and side note, this UA is gonna be a college in this one, so we don't get all that stuff. But basically, most of his growing up until middle school, he is probably. It's actually a little worse. The bullying is worse and stuff. So he's gonna be more depressed. He will still write his notebooks and stuff, but he still has that thing going. He's still a little bit intelligent, maybe a little more than canon. So we go up until the sludge villain attack. He still gets saved by All Might, and he asks for the autograph, of course, like he does in the canon. And he also grabs onto All Might's leg while he jumps off. The difference here is that All Might doesn't drop the sludge villain. He doesn't escape. So he still has the sludge villain when he lands on the roof. And Deku would see All Might's small form, and he would scream the same thing, like he ain't All Might. And All Might would, of course, then tell him about his quirk one fall and the injury he has. And Deku would ask if he could become a hero even without a quirk, and All Might would say no. And because Deku was already quite depressed from all the bullying, it would actually shatter him completely, because his favorite number one hero said he couldn't become a hero without a quirk. And All Might would then actually go off to deliver the villain of that ship. And Deku would just be on the roof thinking, like, considering his options. Like, if he can't become a hero, what else should he do? Like, he could take Bakugo's offer, suggestion and jump off the roof, but Deku ain't that dumb. Like, he knows that his mom would miss him, so he wouldn't do that. Instead, he decides to maybe it would be better to become a villain. But he would then think he wouldn't be like a real villain with no morals, because he still has that little goat, like he still has, his heart isn't completely broken, so, and his mentality is still somewhat a little bit attached. So he decides that he would be a villain in his own right. A villain / vigilante, going after not only the villains but also the heroes, because he thinks that society... Fuck, it went out. 1 sec. I gotta get used to this one then. He thinks that the hero society is somewhat corrupt and broken. Like, if the number one hero says you can't become a hero without a quirk, then it doesn't make sense that in the videos that Deku has seen, All Might says that everyone can become a hero. He finds that he thinks that makes All Might a hypocrite. Like, he says one thing, but his opinion is another. It makes Deku think that maybe there's more heroes like that. Like, heroes that's almost only doing it for fame, not really saving others. So he thinks, what could he do then? What to do? And he gets an idea. He writes notebooks on heroes, their quirks and stuff. And he thinks, I'm just observing them. I could try and maybe observe a hero and see what they do in their free time. Are they different? How do they act without the press? Like Stain's ideology a little bit. like, he needs to get rid of the fake heroes, but instead of killing, right now he doesn't really want to kill them, he would more want to publicize what they do, how corrupt they are. And we're trying doing it on an alias or something. I haven't really figured out yet. You can decide in the comments, of course. So Deku just decides to go home and think further on this. And he tries to look up on the internet different heroes that has a bad reputation or a possible bad reputation. He thinks about Endeavor a little because of the way he acts in public around people, but then again he thinks it might be too big of a target right now. So he decides to leave that for later. This is going to be a little bit important.